Thank you for coming by Tori Magoo 44. Today is February 22nd, 2010, and it is my 300th video. I'm very proud to say that. I've made a lot of videos. The intention when I started, for the people that are new that have come to my site, I originally wasn't going to speak out at all. And I told my friend who said, why don't you come stay with us for a couple weeks just to kind of feel it out, see how you are. I said, I'm not going to speak out. I'm not going to make videos. I'm not going to pick it, right? That's what I originally said. But then, after being there for a week and speaking with a ton of families, all who had lost loved ones to the Church of Scientology, and we going to their home, to Boston, and they saying they were going to pick it. I said, I'm not going to pick it. And they said, well, that's okay. And I said, but I'll go in and talk to the staff. So long story short, I ended up standing outside. It's called Magoo Dancing in Boston. You can see it at zenutv.com, right? And a couple things happened there. One, I did start speaking out because I thought, in honor of the families that have lost their loved ones, I need to say something, right? And I did. And at the time, I was only out for 2 weeks. I really did believe Scientology believed in communication at the time. And I say that over and over. You know, Scientology is communication because that's what I believed it was, right? I've since found out that isn't really the case. But it's interesting to hear on Australian TV, they've interviewed a bunch of their celebrities. And it's very interesting to me what they are saying, and I'm going to go over a little bit of it with you. I was on OT7 with Ann Archer, who they interview. I've been over to Nancy Cartwright's house. I helped train John Travolta, who wasn't in the Australian one. But these celebrities they use all the time to talk about how happy they are, right? I was the same. I was happy in Scientology. What's the problem, right? The difference is, those celebrities, they keep very insulated. They never see some of the stuff that many, many other people see. Most Scientologists don't. I didn't. And I was assisting the Office of Special Affairs. But I was mainly out on the PR lines, talking to people, stuff like that, saying, oh, they don't do that black PR stuff. They don't do fair game, bop, bop, bop. And I, honestly, they kept me very sheltered. I didn't know they did. I really didn't think so. And I'm telling you, when I finally realized it, that was it for me. I mean, that was it. And I said to my friend, I didn't get into Scientology to stop free speech. I didn't. And that's what they were actually working on the internet with me. You know, I was helping open up these phony accounts, not realizing that's what they were using them for. So even working with them, I didn't know the creepy stuff that they were doing. So they're very good at that kind of stuff. So these people saying, oh, I'm so happy, it's like, that isn't the issue. What about the abuses? That's what I want to ask those people. And I want the media to ask them, what about the abuses? What about breaking up families? What about stopping free speech? Fair game. I know what they'll say because I've done it myself. You know, for breaking up the families, oh, that doesn't happen very often. Yes, it does. It happens to tons of families. And I'd like them to meet with some of the families and hear what they have to say. They won't. They won't ever talk to me or anyone else. Why is that? If they're really free, why can't they talk to me? Why can't they talk to anybody who is, their church has declared, after me being in for 30 years now, they declared me a suppressive person. I'm in What is Scientology? Their big book that they mailed out to everybody, all the senators and all the opinion leaders, people that were important. One of my success stories is in there, right? But now I'm a suppressive person. So what's up, Scientology? Something happened there. You're going to say that I was just sneaking along all the time and pretending to be a Scientologist? No, that's not going to fly. Everybody who knows me knows that is not true. So I also said, I'm happy, right? Happiness isn't the issue. The issue are these abuses that are going on a daily basis where they're roping in young kids and saying, yeah, this happened to some people that I knew when they were up at their school. They took them out of school, said the end of the world is coming. If you don't join the Sea Org, your parents are going to die in 2 years. Now, what's a young kid going to say on that? They don't know. They can't think. People call me all the time saying, you know, I'm thinking of joining. What do you think? And I'm like, okay, here's what I think. run as fast as you can and don't look back. And that's after 30 years of doing it. And that's not because of the wins that Ann Archer's had. I don't mind. You can have whatever wins you want. But when you're talking about abuses like that, and that you, Ann Archer, or you, Nancy Cartwright, or you, John Travolta, will not ever come hear my side, or Mark Headley's side, or Maureen's side, or anyone else's, Jeff Hawkins, you won't come hear what we have to say. So until you do, we're going to keep saying, you know what? You don't have the whole picture, and you need to find out. Because you people are the glue that keeps people in the Church of Scientology. That's why they're there. If you guys woke up and honestly left, I can't even imagine the landslide of people that would leave. But because, well, Nancy Cartwright's there giving her free seminar on how, hey, it helped me. I was straight up, right? Good for you, Nancy. I'm glad you are. But you know what? It's not really right when you won't hear the other side of it. There's something wrong on it. My father was a celebrity. And I was hanging out with the kids a lot. My brothers, I had 2 older brothers, so I hung out with them and their friends. And my dad taught me. He said, I'm going to teach you about bullies. And here's the deal with bullies. The bullies will never sit down at the table with you. Ever. Why? Because they don't have the same intention as other people. Other people, they might disagree with you. They'll sit down at the table and argue it out with you, and that's fine. Everybody can disagree all they want. But when people won't even sit down at the table with you, that's when you know they're skunks. They're rats. They're not really good people, and they don't really have good intentions. Now, I know Ann, I know Nancy, and I know John. And I'm not saying they don't have good intentions. I think they do. But they're being run by David Miscavige, who does not have good intentions at all. And people that have been working directly with him have made videos and spoken out about how he beats people up. He has executives locked up. You can laugh at it. I remember it so well. You know so much. You're so sure that it couldn't possibly be happening. Well, if it couldn't possibly be happening, then why is it that you won't come talk to us and at least hear our side of things? You've got slander up on Religious Freedom Watch about many, many different people, and you won't tell the truth at it. So people who are watching me and going, should I join or shouldn't I join? For WISE, for Applied Scholastics, for Narcanon, Criminon, Way to Happiness, the Church of Scientology, all of them. I say, run as fast as you can and don't look back. Do not write a check. And this is the other thing I say. Don't believe me. You can go on the internet and read, look, listen, learn both sides, and then you make up your own mind. Because I have absolute confidence. If you know the facts, the data, the information, get this book and read this book about Russell Miller, Barefaced Messiah. Scientology will say, oh, that's a terrible book. Don't read that. That man was never in Scientology. It's one of the best, it's known as one of the best autobiography, or, it's a biography about L. Ron Hubbard, telling very factually what happened in his life. I challenge you to read it. You won't, because Scientology says, oh, don't read that stuff. There's a ton of books. Blown for Good, blownforgood.com, My Billionaire Contract by Nancy Maney, Bent Corden's book, L. Ron Hubbard, Messiah or Madman. Find out about it. Read both sides, and then you make up your own mind. There is tons of information on the internet that can help educate you on both sides. And please ask yourself this question. Why can't the Church of Scientology say that? I mean, we can, we big SPs, we can say read both sides. Go ahead, because we know if you're educated on both sides, we have full confidence that you are going to make the correct decision for you. But they are very, very, that's why I say tick-tock, tick-tock, time is on our side. Why? Because eventually more and more people are going to leave, which they have, and more people are going to leave. And every time they do, Scientology skunked a little bit more. Miscavige, I told you about this. You can run, but you cannot hide. I've suggested it before. You get rid of all this abuse because it's going to do nothing but exactly what's happening. It's just going to keep blowing up. To the Australians, thank you so much for all the work you're doing exposing both sides of this so that people can see and make up their own minds. And remember, Google is your friend. So do Google things. To everyone who has helped me over the years, I cannot thank you enough. I love all of you. You have done more to help me as a person and my friends and many, many ex-Scientologists and people that are probably still in than you can possibly imagine. Anonymous, you all are like, I can't even say it. It's so fabulous. What you guys have done, I think for literally, it's going to go down in history. It is. It's fantastic. For the guys that are exposing the Church of Scientology, that Anonymous, it's fantastic. And for all the critics who have done so, thank you. The websites, all the information, it is fantastic. And you have truly and honestly helped move along freedom more. One of the best quotes I've ever heard is by Abraham Lincoln: "Those who deny freedom to others deserve it not for themselves." Abraham Lincoln. And another great one is by Martin Luther King: "Freedom is never voluntarily given by an oppressor. It must be it must be demanded by the oppressed." I knew it was that. I couldn't read my writing. I wrote it down because I thought that's really good. It must be demanded by the oppressed. Now, of course, Scientologists in are going to go, we're not oppressed. Okay, let's look at it. Why can't you come talk to us? Why can't you learn both sides? Why can't you read certain books? Got to ask yourself that question. And think about it and take some action for yourself. Take your lives back, okay? And stop supporting abuse, because that's what you're doing. By staying in there, by being celebrities, by being opinion leaders for celebrities, you are supporting the very abuse that these people talked about in the press conference. I love you all. Have a fantastic week, and I will continue to talk to you. I love you. Bye-bye.